Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Soham Murders, a community's worst nightmare, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It was the summer of 2002 when the quiet town of Soham, nestled in the heart of Cambridgeshire, England, was shaken to its core. A place where neighbours knew each other by name, where children played freely in the streets, and where crime was almost unheard of. But all of that changed in an instant. 10-year-old best friends Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman were inseparable. They did everything together, walking to school, playing in the park, and spending nights at each other's homes. That Sunday evening, August 4th, was no different. The girls had spent the day at Holly's house, enjoying the last few weeks of summer before school started again. Holly's mother, Nicola, had taken a few photos of them in their matching red Manchester United jerseys. They looked happy, carefree, and completely unaware that those would be the last pictures ever taken of them. As dusk approached, Holly and Jessica decided to take a short walk. It was only a little past 6 in the evening, and in a town as safe as Soham, there was no reason to worry. They promised Holly's parents they wouldn't go far. But minutes turned into hours, and when the girls didn't return home, panic set in. Calls to their mobile phones went unanswered, and soon, a search party was formed. The entire town came together, combing the streets, calling their names, and hoping, praying, that they would come home safe. But they didn't. The police were called, and the investigation began immediately. Flyers with Holly and Jessica's faces were posted all over town. News channels picked up the story, turning it into a national crisis. Everyone was searching for them, but there was no sign of the girls, no witnesses, no clues, nothing. Days passed. Then weeks. The community held on to hope, but fear was settling in. The possibility that something sinister had happened became impossible to ignore. And then, a breakthrough. A local school caretaker, Ian Huntley, was one of the first to offer assistance to the search teams. He had been seen talking to reporters, expressing his concern and sharing his thoughts on the girl's disappearance. But there was something off about him. Investigators noticed inconsistencies in his story, little details that didn't quite add up. His partner, Maxine Carr, who worked at the school as a teaching assistant, had also spoken to the media, claiming she had been with Ian the entire time the girls went missing. But it was a lie. Suspicion turned into evidence when police searched Huntley's home. Inside, they found items belonging to the girls. Then, the chilling discovery was made: 2 charred bodies buried in a ditch near Lakenheath, miles away from Soham. DNA confirmed the worst fears. Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman were dead. Ian Huntley had lured them into his house that fateful evening under the guise of offering them help. Once inside, their fate was sealed. It was a crime so heinous that even the most hardened detectives struggled to comprehend it. He had then tried to destroy the evidence, but forensic science caught up to him. Maxine Carr, though not involved in the murders, had lied to protect Huntley. She had provided a false alibi, thinking she was helping her partner. But in reality, she had only delayed justice. She was arrested and later convicted for perverting the course of justice. The trial was swift, and the entire nation watched. Huntley was sentenced to life imprisonment, a punishment that still felt inadequate for the horror he had inflicted. The town of Soham would never be the same again. Parents no longer let their children roam freely. Trust was broken. The innocence that once defined the community was shattered forever. Even now, decades later, the memory of Holly and Jessica lingers. Their smiling faces remain etched in the hearts of those who knew them. The Soham murders were not just a crime, they were a reminder of how darkness can lurk even in the safest of places. And with that, my friends, we reach the end of this chilling tale. If you found this story intriguing and want to hear more real-life mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe, because sometimes the real monsters walk among us.